3rd of November, 8 AM. 1st of June, midnight. This is where we started. This is where it all began. A note written in a gentle script. Headmaster, I'm going to borrow the golden wand. I'm very sorry to break my promise, but I just want to see Alexis again. So that's what happened.
Every new fairy gets a little gift. Find the golden wand and touch it with your hand.
So that's what happened. I don't have any of my rings. How far back did we go? Oh wow, she's getting her life drained.
This red ring is a gift given to fairies. Try putting it on your right hand.
No, I didn't mean to kill her. Let's put it back to her, not me. But will she turn into an evil fairy? I guess there's only one way to find out. Alright, Yulia. Let's hope it doesn't turn out the same. I'm really hoping she doesn't turn evil.
Right. Let's have at it. Take a bow.
This is so cool!
It was my pleasure, Lawrence.
Thank you very much.
Isn't your beat
Would you like to be
majestic,
taken back
Rosa?
to the school now, sir?
Such
Yes,
a
please.
beautiful timbre. Do you think so? Lucky me. I can't believe how good you are at violin. Did you bargain with the devil or something?
Wow, someone's improved. Must have really been putting in the hours. Hey, Nils.
Well, I did what I could. But if I've improved at all, it's thanks to Marie.
You haven't missed a beat, Nils. I doubt even New would recognize your playing.
Is someone there? Are you a fairy? Thank you for your gift that night.
You're welcome.
I hope we can meet properly one day.
One day.
Well then, goodbye, kind fairy.
So that was Déraciné. What a game! Holy shit! That was cool. Special shout out to Masataka Kira. I always like to point out one random person in the credits. Whew, that was a cool, fun ride. That was a very interesting game. Absolutely interesting. So usually at the end of the game I like to give it my review from a yeah, meh, and nah. Yeah being definitely to buy or play. Nah being definitely not to buy or play. And meh being somewhere in the middle. So without any real surprise, I'm gonna give this game a yeah for buying and playing. If it's on sales, definitely give it a try if you haven't already. I think this is a nice way to introduce someone into VR, as well as some kind of story and narrative element as well. So that's kind of like what I like about it so much. So let's kind of review it. So I usually review 3 major aspects. One aspect is the story, the narrative or plot. Second aspect is the music, and so the audio-visual aesthetics. And then the final aspect is the gameplay and the game mechanics. So let's talk about the story. The story and the the narrative, the plot. I think it was done really well. There are moments where it gets a little bit slow because I'm going item hunting, but other than that, I like how they give everyone this little bit of personality, and that kind of helps me nudge towards liking the characters a bit more. And there's all these little scattered things that you can read up on as well, which further kind of enhances the story of each character. The whole fairy tale, it actually feels like it's a fairy tale, like one of those grim fairy tales. Well, luckily it had a happy ending at the end. But I think it's it's much like an old German fairy tale perhaps. And I really enjoyed that kind of aspect. It's kind of like like a dreamlike story. Let's talk about the visual and the audio aesthetics and viability. So the music in this game, absolutely amazing. And why they're up on the damn roof like that, especially with a girl who has a bad leg. But yeah, the music, as you can hear from right now, this is how good it is. And we all knew the music is awesome, especially from these groups. I cannot stress enough how good the music is. The sound effects or the sound design, for example, when you're picking up objects or touching certain things, it's pretty much the same. Oh, look at them get worried when Yulia brings the pot, the stew. You know it's got those nasty herbs in there. So, and in terms of the character design, I think it's done really well. I think it's done as expected towards this type of universe. In terms of the game mechanic and the gameplay, I do like the fact that you can just like teleport around. It doesn't make me feel that sick. I'm the unfortunate population that gets sick from playing VR, get a lot of motion sickness. But with this one, I didn't really feel it as much, or at all, really. The teleporting definitely helps a lot. The element where you kind of drain things of time and then give time to other things, I think that's a great mechanic. I just wish they used more of it in the game. I feel like there's a lot of puzzles that could have been integrated within the story to take one's life essence and transfer it to another, which then changes the story. But it feels like there's only like maybe at most 3 moments in this entire gameplay, and I think that's just lacking a lot. In terms of picking up objects or pulling things, I think maybe it's because I'm in a small room, or maybe I'm too close to the camera. I just can't really reach, and that's the common problems you have in VR, and this was no different. I wish there was a way to kind of have like the laser pointer and point towards what you want to grab, so you can pull it from a closer, so you don't have to outstretch your arm if it's very far away. But overall, I think this was a fantastic addition to the VR game titles. This kind of gives me an idea what like an escape room could potentially be like, or a fully in-depth narrative story would be like. And I think that would have been nice. I do still think there should have been an option for you to walk around manually instead of teleporting, because then that would kind of remove the need to pull things. But also, if you did it, if you do it in a fashion where you just teleport, you don't have to pretty much put in those elements where your hand gets blocked by the objects in the world. So pros and cons, I guess, in both. But yeah, definitely buy to play. I think it's a fantastic game. Just love the music and the story. The gameplay itself could probably be more enhanced, I reckon, but you know, it is what it is. So tell me down in the comments below what you think. And as always, take it easy. Until next adventure, I'll see you there. Thanks for watching. Bye now. I love how it just, as soon as I say bye now, that's the place it goes to.
Yes, it was all thanks to the fairy. I was ailing in bed and tried to give the last of my time to the fairy. But at some point I nodded off. And then, in a dream, the fairy drained every drop of time that I had. But as quickly as it happened, the fairy gave it back. It was my time, for my life, and it felt so very warm. I'll never waste a moment of it again.